Oh, hi there. It's Michael Foreman, author of dark adult fiction. Well, it's now the morning after the release of my new novel, Waves of Darkness. Now, it's morning here. I know you're watching. You're probably watching from a different time zone, so good evening, good afternoon, good morning, or good night. Yes, it was released yesterday, so it's now about 24 hours ago since the first of the broadcasts went out to social media. And there has been a lot of traffic, a lot of interest, a lot of follows and likes. But I woke to a pleasant surprise this morning. Someone contacted me and said that they had left a review on Goodreads.com. So I've just gone to Goodreads.com, where Waves of Darkness is sitting there with its picture and synopsis. And as I scroll down, there's one there, Beck Murray. Thank you very much, Beck Murray. You've given me 5 stars. Probably more than it's worth, but thank you anyway. And a very short review. Wow, just wow, kept me on the edge of my seat throughout and couldn't put it down. Written really well and was able to really picture everything. Definitely recommend for adults. So there you go. Adults. If you're a child, go away, your mother's calling you. It's adult fiction, there's no doubt about it. You have to be an adult to appreciate the content that I write. So this is for mumsies and daddies. The children must go home now. Yes, 5 stars. Goodness gracious me. Whenever I see 5 stars out of 5, I always get a little suspicious. I know when I'm looking at reviews for restaurants and for travel destinations and hotels and so forth, if I see 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 4 or 10 out of 10, I always think that maybe a family member has done the review. I always look at the 3.5 to 4.5 stars and consider them to be more authentic. But I'm really chuffed to see 5 stars from an absolute stranger. That really feels good. Now, I was wondering how on earth did Beck manage to read the book in 24 hours. And now I know that there are people who do that and can do that. But she advised me that something I already knew was that the book was released on my website as an ebook some 14 days ago. And I didn't see a lot of activity at the time, and I didn't make a big deal about it, didn't make a fuss about it. Only followers on my site would have known about it. And she'd already read it, which meant that when the social media post went out yesterday making the offer to send out a copy of the prequel as a result of doing a review, she's gone ahead and done a review. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where you sit, it wasn't done on Amazon.com, and there's a good reason why, and a valid reason why. And I'll tell you that in a second. This is Goodreads.com. Amazon.com is where all the first purchases are made. Obviously, Goodreads is something that happens after the fact, and you can find new content and books and so forth through Goodreads if you're a Goodreads follower. But Amazon.com is where you purchase the book from. So if you're in the catalogue and you're looking for some new books to read, it's really helpful for the independent authors like myself if there's a review there, which is why I encouraged the review process, the real reader review process, to occur. But not everybody is eligible to provide a review on Amazon.com, and I didn't know that at the time when I sent the post out. It's only something that I've just discovered. You need to have spent a certain amount of money and transactions and so forth with Amazon.com before you can do it. And it's basically to stop fake reviews being done. So she tried, couldn't do it. And then she wrote to me and said, please, 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 can you send me a copy of the prequel, Darkness Awakes? So, Beck, yes, I will gladly send you a copy of Darkness Awakes. I'll sign it and I'll send it in the post to you next week. So thank you very much for the review. You really made my day. You really did. And if you're interested to know how the book is doing, go to goodreads.com or amazon.com to buy a copy. Now, the other thing that Beck Murray asked about in her post, or she told me a few things and then asked about a signed copy of the prequel, but she also asked, is there another book coming out? And the answer is yes. There is another book that has already been written. In fact, it was written at the same time Waves of Darkness was written. It's not titled, so I can't tell you what it is. In fact, if I just reach down here, I can show you. It's only got number 3 written beside it, because when I start the writing process, I don't always have a title in my mind, such is the case with my 3 novels, 2 published and this one sitting here. Unfortunately, the process of getting a book out there is quite big. There's the idea of writing it, coming up with a concept, some characters and so forth. I don't seem to have any problem in that area, because once I get going, I have this creative inertia. It just keeps pushing until I get to the final page. I know there are a lot of authors who struggle to find words to say and come up with ideas, but I've never had any problems in getting the first draft out and on the boards. The problem that I have, which I would imagine every author has, is trying to get through the editing process as quickly as you possibly can. And if you go too fast, you miss things. If you go too slow, it becomes tiresome. So every book has got to go through this long process of being edited, and it takes a lot longer to do that than it does to write the first draft. There are typos and spelling mistakes and so forth. We don't really worry about those too much because everything is done speed typing, and you expect those kind of errors to be made. In fact, normally what I do is at the end of the day I go back over all of the writing that I've just done and have a look for all the obvious mistakes and fix them up before they even become a hard copy for us to look at later. Anyway, there are a lot of other mistakes. There's grammatical errors, there are tense errors, there's even errors in the plot. The characters, you have a character doing something over here and you haven't actually migrated them to another location for them to be performing another action in the story. Suddenly you've just kind of got them there. And it becomes blindingly obvious when you see it as a story collective, but it's not as obvious when you're doing sentence-by-sentence development during the course of a writing day. So there's a lot of stuff to get done, put back together properly in order for you, the reader, to make sense of it. Anyway, this was the previous and the last edit that took us 6 months to do. If I was doing this full time, then probably it would have been done a whole lot sooner. But because there are other things that I do in my life apart from writing, and I have to use my spare time to come through and do these editing, and I do get assistance with the edits, and she, my partner Margot, doesn't have all the time in the world to just sit on one thing and do that project with me either. She's got her own interests as well. Loves to garden, she loves to sew, loves to swim, and together we like to fish and crab and do all these and camp, and basically the work in writing gets done in between all of those other life experiences. So it's 6 months in the waiting, and I was planning to get both books out this year, but it didn't happen. So we concentrated and put our resources into one book and got it out for the Christmas period, with the idea that we'll do this second one. And you see it's got the tags. There's some pre-editing there's some notations that I've made after I've written it and thought, oh, okay, I need to include something. So that's what the pink tags are for. What was I saying? I lost track. I was planning to get it out this year, but it'll be a next year project. It'll be a 2020 project. Anyway, that's it, really. I just wanted to bring you up to date with all the things that have been happening since the release of Waves of Darkness. And I'll pop this on YouTube, embed it into one of my pages on www.mfp.com.au/yourthroat. And you can read and listen and watch and whatever you want to do there. You can come to my website. I've already mentioned the website link. Or you can pick up some of our podcast. My podcast is my voice, and my little podcast setup that I got here. You sometimes see it in the lower part of the pictures of my videos. It's not recording, the audio is not recording in that today, it's recording directly into the phone because this is just an impromptu kind of you and me thing. I didn't want to polish it up too much. And there's no script, I'm not working with anything today. Yes, the podcast is Dirty Rabbit Hole. The Dirty Rabbit Hole, that's what it's called, and it's available on iTunes, or you can get it from the website. We've got feeds coming into the website at www.mfp.com.au/your throat. That's it. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you're having a really great day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Have a good one.